Tajikistan has experienced unprecedented downpours for this country. The precipitation exceeded the norm by 10 times. Landslides killed 21 people. Baktit, Radaki District, Nurabad, Tajikabad and Varzab. Heavy rains have fallen in all mountainous regions of Tajikistan, including Dushan. The rainfall caused mudslides and rockfalls. Residents in the east of the country suffered the most. In the city of Baghdad, 17 people became victims of landslides. Dozens of houses were damaged, highways and bridges destroyed. With a monthly norm of precipitation of 2 millimeters, it fell, according to forecasters, 10 times more. At the 21st kilometer, 15 cars were sunk because of heavy rainfall. But the efforts of our rescuers and IRS employees prevented the tragedy, said Unit Yusufi, head of the press center of the Committee for Emergency Situations and Civil Defense under the government of Tajikistan. 2 residents died in Radaki district and 2 more died in Varzab district. Rescuers in the south evacuated residents in time. President Emomali Rahman took personal control of the situation. The head of state expressed condolences to the families of the victims and instructed those responsible to provide the necessary assistance to the injured. Heavy hail has caused significant damage to motorists in Novosibirsk. Bad weather hit the city on Monday evening. First it rained heavily, then large hail fell. The situation was aggravated by the fact that hailstones the size of a hen's egg flew during rush hour when many cars were on crowded streets. As a result, cars were dented and some cars lost their windows. Owners of parked cars tried to save them from damage by covering them with blankets and carpets, but this did not help everyone. The hail stopped as suddenly as it started. Earlier, hail the size of an apple hit Krasnodar and a number of Kuban districts. Spain has been hit by Hurricane Dana. Heavy rains led to unprecedented flooding. In Madrid, the subway was even flooded. Streams of water rushed through the streets of the Spanish capital, washing away everything in its path. Flooded basements, first floors of houses, stores, hundreds of cars were affected. In many neighborhoods there were power outages. The authorities urged Madrid residents not to leave their homes. According to preliminary estimates, the damage from the elements has already exceeded €10 billion. The Pacific Hurricane Otis, which hit Mexico, has killed at least 39 people, the country's government website said. The maximum speed of wind gusts reached 75 meters per second. The death toll was 29 men and 10 women, according to the Guerrero State Attorney General's office. Damage was caused to 220,035 residential houses, its assessment is ongoing. 513,524 users were left without light. 2 major hospitals in the region and Acapulco International Airport have been affected. Up to 80% of tourist sites are in need of repair. Several important roads are blocked. Eliminating the consequences of the disaster are engaged in about 8.5 thousand military and 1.3 thousand employees of energy companies. Earlier it was reported about 27 victims of Otis. A new earthquake with magnitude 4.9 was recorded in Afghanistan. The epicenter was located at a distance of 9 kilometers from the city of Baghlan. Its population is about 108,000 people. There were no reports of casualties and destruction. In early October in the country there was the deadliest earthquake in history. The strike of the element killed 2.5 thousand people. More than 10,000 more suffered. 20 villages and settlements near the city of Herat were completely destroyed. New earth tremors put local residents in despair. Because of the earthquake, terror has settled in people's hearts. People have come out of their homes, they sit in the streets and parks under the blue sky and spend all their time here. Those who were affected and those who weren't are all terrified, they are scared to be in their homes, said a local resident. Kazakhstani rescuers are helping to remove the rubble. More than 700 destroyed sites have already been surveyed, according to the Kazakhstani Emergencies Ministry. In the mountains of Almaty avalanche. There are victims. An avalanche has occurred in the mountains of Almaty. According to official data, the snowfall was triggered by 2 professional skiers. Rescuers have left to transport the victims. One of them is tentatively 33 to 35 years old. To get to the scene of the accident, emergency personnel will be several hours. So far there is no information about the condition of the skiers. Recall, the day before the local emergency department warned about the weather conditions and asked not to visit residents and visitors to the mountains.
That's one of the biggest avalanches I've ever seen in real life. It's gonna pummel us. Oh my gosh. What? Dude, I hope nobody's down on Boot Hill. Here it comes, bro. Oh, we are.
Forest fire broke out in the north of Spain. A forest fire broke out in the north of Spain. Burned at least 450 hectares of forest. According to the local government, the fire has approached populated areas. The situation is complicated by weather conditions. Because of the wind, the fire is spreading faster. The causes of the fire have not yet been determined. There have been no reports of casualties or injuries.
Llamamos a 112. Llama a ver. En Ocentejo está el incendio. Eso es de Ocentejo.
A powerful landslide has hit a major highway in Sweden. 3 people were injured. A pile of rocks filled the European Highway E6, which connects the west coast of Sweden and the whole of Norway. The mudslide damaged several cars, an area with a gas station and a fast food restaurant. A helicopter was sent to the site to clear the debris. It is known that explosive construction work was being carried out nearby. Police are checking whether they caused the collapse. In late August, a powerful landslide came down in Georgia. The medieval monastery of Shiomvam was covered with earth and a pile of stones. A state of emergency due to drought has been declared in Bali. In connection with a severe drought, the authorities of the Indonesian island of Bali announced the introduction of a state of emergency. The regime is set for 14 days. Acting Governor of Bali Sangamade Mahendra noted that the extreme weather on the island, which lasted from July to October, led to a shortage of water in 113 villages and fires in 10 districts, including the provincial capital Denpasar. Earlier, Indonesian President Joko Widodo said the country's military and police will be involved in putting out the fires. In March 2023, Bali authorities banned tourists from renting motorcycles after several high-profile accidents involving them, as well as climbing mountains. In August, it became known that from next year the country will charge tourist tax from foreigners. A powerful earthquake hit Japan, leaving people without light and transportation. In the footage shot by eyewitnesses, it can be seen how lampists dance in the streets from the aftershock, and objects in the homes of Japanese people fall from the surfaces. In Japan, on the territory of several prefectures, including the Tokyo metropolitan area, there was a powerful earthquake with a magnitude of 6.1 points. This was reported by Kyodo Edition with reference to the Japanese Meteorological Agency. According to the agency, the earthquake struck at 22:41 local time, 16:41 Kiev time, in some parts of Tokyo, Kanagawa and Saitama prefectures, with the origin in the northwestern prefecture of Chiba, at a depth of 80 kilometers. Authorities added that the quake caused blackouts in about 250 homes in the Japanese capital. Officials also said subway train traffic in Tokyo has been halted due to the quake. The earthquake also caught people at their workplaces. So, in the network appeared footage from one of the TV studios at the moment when the tremors began. There is no data on victims and injured in the earthquake at the moment. Earthquakes are a common phenomenon for Japan, one of the most seismically active regions of the world. This country accounts for about 20% of all earthquakes in the world, with a magnitude of 6 points and above.
東京、神奈川、埼玉、千葉、茨城、群馬、栃木、ご覧の地域に緊急地震速報が出ています。千葉県で地震が発生しました。強い揺れ、今少しずつ収まってきましたけれども、まだ安心しないでください。強い揺れがかなり大きな